There's never a bad time to add some more protein into your diet. You know this. We're always talking about how much protein can we get in a day. So it's very easy when you eat beef in your diet. Let's beef up some of our favorite holiday dishes.
Yeah, and thankfully we have Ashley Kramer from the Minnesota Beef Council. And Ashley is going to find a way and show us how you can turn stuffing maybe into the main course.
Look at this.
I like that idea. We often think of stuffing as a side, but if you're going to beef it up,
I mean, it could be the star of the show if you wanted it to.
For sure.
I love it.
Okay, I'm intrigued by this. You've got all the ingredients. You want us to help pour things in the bowl, Ashley?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk you through how it's made as you guys are helping to make it. So first off, we're just starting with standard ground beef.
Okay.
Brown that in a skillet, and then season it with garlic powder, onion powder, red pepper flakes.
Oh, that's easy.
Ooh, I like
Put it
that.
in there.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And then we have some leeks that we put in that same skillet.
So no salt when you did that?
I think there's a little bit of salt in there.
Just a little bit of salt.
Yeah, a little bit of salt.
Okay, but then you took the beef out, added the leeks in, so they get all that flavor.
Yeah, so please don't use a different skillet, use the same skillet because that brown bits, those have flavor. So you want that to be with the leeks.
You know, they call that the fond. The
fond.
The fawns?
That's the flavor, not the fond.
Oh, not the fawns.
That's the fond. That's what the flavor bits on the bottom of the pan after you cook meat.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like that.
Pro tip. All right.
So then 12 ounces of bread cubes.
Oh, these look good.
Yeah, dried bread cubes.
Yeah.
Just pour those all in.
Okay. Great.
Right, and then we have dried cranberries. So this is kind of a new twist on stuffing.
I like the sweetness of
Dried,
that.
but yes, a little sweetness. And then
And
we actually
chewy.
have diced apples as well.
You want to toss that in?
Toss those in.
Any particular type of apple? Just your favorite?
You know, this one called for a Granny Smith, which is a green apple. I couldn't find Granny Smith, so I used Golden Delicious. So really anything that's a little bit tangy, crisp, you could probably
But
say
I could
kind
see
of
the
apple.
Granny Smith, they're probably going for the tart.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit tart, yeah.
But you get that with the cranberries too.
You do.
Is that bourbon?
That would be a lot of bourbon.
That would be a lot of
No,
bourbon.
that is actually beef broth.
Oh, okay. All right. I was wishful thinking.
Which
You know,
one,
I don't know.
I mean, you could, I guess, if you're feeling ambitious. But
more
we're
protein.
going to put that in there. 2.5 cups is what it calls for. But actually, in my family, we like our stuffing a little bit more moist.
Okay.
And so, pro tip, when you're putting it into the pan, you're actually going to press down on the stuffing. And then once the broth comes to your fingers, that's when you know you have enough. So I probably added
good
a little bit
idea.
more, like 4 cups is what I did. So that's my grandma's kind of secret to her stuffing, and it's been passed down to my mom, now passed down to me. So press down on it, and
So
then
it's a
once
good
you
way
see
to
the
see when it
broth,
saturates through the bread.
yes, because you want
then
to
you know.
saturate the bread
Yes.
if you like your stuffing more moist.
This is a big recipe. Like, that's a big
It is.
pan. Okay, so then you bake it?
Well, first you're gonna add some seasonings.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and then mix that all together.
Okay.
Put it in that pan, and then bake it at
Ashley said we could
350
eat.
degrees.
She said we should eat right out of the
Oh,
pan.
we should just
Yeah,
eat
that's
right out
what
of
she
the
said.
pan. Oh, okay.
She wanted us to just take a
Thanksgiving
fork
time.
Just go,
and
just
dig
go
in.
for it, huh?
We're gonna go. I got
So
a big
that
bite.
just all gets mixed up, throw it
All
in
gets
the
mixed
oven.
up. Bake it for about 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
if you do like your stuffing a little bit more dry or crispy,
Yum.
first you're going to tent it with tin foil. But then if you do like a crispy, take the tin foil off and then bake it for another like 10, 15 minutes to crisp it up.
That's
That's where it's
wonderful.
at. It's great. You know, the beef broth is the key.
Yeah.
And I think people get so stuck on Thanksgiving on having like a million containers of chicken stock. The beef adds like a much deeper flavor
Yeah,
to
richness
it.
to it.
That is good. Even making that switch out on any of your stuffing recipes would be a good idea.
Yeah, and it pairs nicely with the ground beef that's already in there.
Yes. Very
Oh,
good.
yeah, I like that a
Plus,
lot.
it's not just like a carb, you know,
Got a little
feast.
bit of protein in
There's
there.
some protein in
There's
there.
some fruit. So,
It's truly a cornucopia. It has everything you want. It's
Wow.
got beef and it's got fruit in there.
It's healthy.
It's a balanced meal.
It actually is. It is.
It
I
really
think
is.
it
There's
is.
good protein in there.
Okay, let's talk about these sweet potatoes. Now, Ben described some sweet potatoes that his wife makes. This is a different vibe.
Yes, so call back to earlier in the show. We actually have cheese on these
On
sweet
these sweet
potatoes.
potatoes.
So,
Yeah.
but that's what the recipe called for, and they're really great. So first, what you're going to do is have a sweet potato. Now, if you don't like sweet potatoes, you could always do a russet or a baking potato. But it says to hollow it out before you bake it. Now, I found that it was kind of difficult to hollow out a sweet potato
Yeah,
before you
it
put it in
is.
the oven.
Yeah.
So I actually baked it when it was halved, and then hollow them out as you see here.
So you're like doing a twice baked potato
baked-
kind of style.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then hollow it out, and then you're going to actually add these ingredients in there. So
Okay.
this is fun. It actually calls for beef jerky, which is a fun twist on a twice baked potato.
Oh, so not like bacon or anything like this is beef jerky.
Beef
Yeah,
jerky.
so we have 2 different varieties of cheeses, and then we actually have a jalapeno beef jerky
Okay.
and a peppered beef jerky.
know
So
we're gonna like
if
that.
you don't like spice, you could always substitute for
Can we
different
just
kinds.
choose?
Well,
Both
you
are
could do it
absolute
that way.
winners.
That would be great. Otherwise, what is maybe a little bit easier is if you just stir it all together and then
Oh, just
But
stir
if you
all
want
of this
to do
together.
it that way,
It's so good.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what? Do we separate things?
I see where your thought process is going with that. That made total sense.
Yes, she's very refined.
Yeah.
She just wants to just like
So you-
sprinkle it
And
on
if that's
there.
what you want to do, by all means, just
No,
do it
I
that
think
way.
Yeah.
your method is way better. I think I was
You know,
just.
it's more evenly based with the ingredients. If you do it
Yes.
that way, mix it all together.
Okay.
And then
If any of the
spoon it
jerky
into
balls-
And then you just pile it on there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
There, like
I
that.
kind of
There.
made a disaster. Okay,
No.
and
And then you bake it for another about 5-10 minutes to melt that cheese.
fascinating.
That's it.
And then what did you do with the hollowed out sweet potato? Did you just put it to the side and use it for something else?
You can, yeah. You just put it off to the side, and if you wanted to make, mashed sweet potatoes later on, you definitely could. And then we have a seasoned sour cream on there as well. So that's just
Oh,
sour
yeah, I
cream,
see that sour cream
lime
on it.
juice, garlic powder, onion powder, and smoked paprika.
Okay.
And then some green onions on there. Did we sell you on the cheese with the
totally
sweet potato?
went,
Okay.
Yeah.
The beef jerky on there is
It's
outstanding.
Because it's like
so
chewy
good.
from the
It
cheese
is,
melty.
and when you put it in the oven, it kind of softens it up a little bit too.
Oh, it's so good. Okay,
Okay.
we only have a few seconds left, so just tell us about these little pinwheels because they look so
Yeah,
good.
these pinwheels, so you use a pastry, and then you're going to roll up some pre-cooked roast beef with some cheese.
Smart.
And if you just quickly want to try it, all you got to do is kind of simply roll it
I'm
up,
doing
and
this
then
with the wrong hand.
Yeah, yeah.
and then you just slice it, and then you put these in the oven for about 15 minutes at 400 degrees.
Oh my
Oh, look at
And then
that.
they kind of puff up into those pinwheels, and it's a really good appetizer, or maybe if you are watching football on the Sunday, it's a good tailgating one too.
Okay, we're going to get after that in the
Yeah.
break. Ashley, great
Thank you
job.
so
Happy
much.
Thanksgiving.
Yes,
These
happy
are
Thanksgiving to
fabulous
you too.
recipe ideas. You can find all of Ashley's recipes from today on TwinCitiesLive.com. And for more information about the Minnesota Beef Council, including lots of recipe ideas and meal planning, visit mmbeef.org.
Let's eat.
Yeah, more TCL
Let's
coming up.
eat.
Yum.